So what's in my stock market portfolio this week with Questrade? So right now my equity is sitting at 104,473. That's in Canadian, combined in Canadian. And you could see that I have 30K in equities and 74K in cash. I actually didn't know it was this big. I'm going to go check right now individually every account. But obviously this cash sitting there doesn't do anything. So that's not good actually. It should be invested in something, but I'm not too sure what to invest in. I mean, they were saying gold is a good investment right now, and it's actually the thing that keeps dropping. Wanted to do covered calls on Apple. Would have been good actually because Apple's been trading in a certain range. So covered calls on Apple would have been great, but I always have that fear. What if it drops to 80 or 70 again? Do I really feel like putting 10K in just one stock? I do have some dividend stocks in my Tfsa. I've got some covered calls in my RSP. I've got a covered call on Intel in my RESP that's doing bad. So let's go look at the positions. So in my RSP, I'm starting with my RSP. I've got 100 shares of OAC, Oaktree Acquisition. So this is a SPAC that a subscriber suggested to me, and I just put in $1,000, taking the risk. I didn't do any due diligence or anything, but it's only $1,000 and I heard good things about it. So this is a bad way of investing, but like I said, for me, it's just $1,000, so it's not a big deal. And I just decided to make a bet on someone else's due diligence because I know it would be better than my own due diligence anyways. I've got covered calls. I've got covered call on Rocket. So this one expires December 18. I rolled it this week. It has a 21.5 strike. So I bought the stock at 21.67. Right now it's trading at 20.25. So I'm down on the shares, but I keep selling covered calls on it right now. So as long as Rocket doesn't go too far away from my cost, I don't mind. I'll just keep selling calls on it. So that's what's important. If it drops to 15, then it becomes a problem. And that's something I don't like about covered calls because that tends to happen to me a lot. I've got a covered call on Virgin Galactic, which flew this week alongside Slack. But anyways, Virgin Galactic, I've got 100 shares at 23.6. Right now it's trading at 27. So I'm up 355 on the shares, but I don't take advantage of that because I've got a call at 23, a call that I sold, a covered call. So that limits my selling price. So my max selling price, regardless where the shares are, my max selling price is 23. But I've been collecting premiums along the way. So obviously I don't think I made $4 in premium, so would have been better off just buying and holding, but obviously I don't know what's going to happen. But at least I'm able to collect premiums, which makes the trade a profitable trade, and that's what matters at the end of the day. Work, same thing. The stock flew on me. I've got a covered call at 28. I bought the stock at 28.64. Right now the stock's at 40, so $1,200 up, but I don't take advantage of that because I'm selling covered calls at 28. So once again, my max selling price is 28, but I've been collecting credits and I rolled it all the way to January 15. So let's look at the premiums collected on Rocket. So you can see this, I started the trade at around November 13. I paid a debit of 20.68 at a strike of 21.5. So that means I collected a premium of almost $1 the first time. The second time, you could see I collected 73 cents. And the third time, I collected 64 cents. So these are the premiums that I'm collecting from Rocket. And this one goes all the way to December 18. Virgin Galactic, I've had it for more than 3 months. So this part here, this section of Questrade only shows 3 months. So from what you see here, I collected 40 cents, I collected $2, I collected 64 cents, and I collected 77 cents in the last 3 months. But I actually collected more premiums, but this one just limits me at 3 months. So actually it does look like I almost did collect $4 if you consider the ones that are not showing here, or maybe even more than $4. And for Slack, I've got the initial entry here. So I paid a debit of 27.3, but the cover call was at 28. So that means my initial premium was a difference, so 70 cents. So 70 cents the first time, 64 cents the second time, 85 cents the third time, 40 cents the third or fourth time. So in this case, definitely buying and holding would have been much better because the stock's at 40, so I would have made $12 if I just bought and held. Instead, with this, I made probably less than $3 or $4. But once again, as long as it's a profitable trade, then it's a good trade. So in my Tfsa, I've got no covered calls. I'm just holding stocks for dividends, and I put in only $1,000 in each position for the moment. Now they're all up, but I'm definitely ready to buy more of them if they ever drop or if anything else drops. So I've got BCE, which is Bell. I've got Bank of Nova Scotia, Canadian bank stock. I've got Choice Properties REIT. I've got gold, which is not a dividend stock, but I just wanted to buy some gold, and that's the only thing that's down almost 10%, so $72. I've got Manulife, up $192. I've got MMP. I've got Realty Income. I've got Pizza. I've got RioCan, which is my best performing one, up $305, so up 30%. I've got AT&T, and I've got TD Bank. In my RESP, I've got a covered call, but it's also a dividend stock. It's I think it pays around 2% dividend yield, but I initially bought it for covered calls, but it's not doing great because I bought the stock at 56, Intel, and it dropped to 47.45, so I'm pretty far from my cost. So the only way I was able to sell a 55 call, I had to go all the way to February. So it's not super capital efficient, but I had no choice. But at least while I'm waiting, I can collect dividends on Intel. Intel's a great company, great stock, great value, but it's getting destroyed by AMD and its own lack of innovation. I think as soon as I have a chance to get out of the stock, I will. I'm not going to keep it. It's been quite boring. Now, in my margin account, I only sell options. So I don't buy or hold anything. I just sell options. So right now, I've got all put spread. So put spread on Baba, CRM, John Deere, FedEx, NVIDIA, and VMW or VMware. And here's an example of a option selling trade. Zoom, for example, has earnings next week. It actually has earnings Monday after hours. Here's a trade that looks interesting that I might do. So for December 4th expiry, I'm looking at the puts. I like to sell puts or put spreads. I'm actually thinking of selling the 400 put naked. So if we go to the 400 put, you can see that it was last trading on Friday at 7.82. So if I sell one contract, depending on what Zoom opens at on Monday, but let's say I can collect $7, that's $700 as long as Zoom stays above 400 come December 4th. So earnings will be released. There should be a lot of movement, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, who knows. I'm not trying to predict the movement, but if I sell the put at 400, I've got room to be wrong and still win. Zoom can drop a little bit. As long as it stays above 400 come December 4th, I get to keep the premium. And after earnings, usually there's a volatility crush. I can actually maybe close the trade, buy back the option that I sold for a little bit less, and pocket the difference. Now, this does require some capital. I think it requires about 7,000 capital. And if I go to my account here, my balances, I actually don't have that in my margin account. So you can see the cash in my margin account in US is about 3,700 or 3,200. My buying power, I've got enough buying power because my buying power is actually my buying power actually comes from my TFSA. So that's why I like selling options in my margin account with Questrade, because I don't even have cash to actually buy stocks. Because if I start buying stocks in my margin account, I'm going to pay interest, and the interest with Questrade is 7%. So it makes more sense to sell options because it's money that comes in when you sell options, and you hope to buy them back for less than what you collected. So as long as the cash line stays above zero, I don't pay interest. Alright, so that was my portfolio update. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Like always, if you can open an account with Questrade to trade on the stock market, use my referral link below to get $50 in free trades. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, share with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.